Would be preferable.
You'll nod to her to, I suppose, walk over here or something. You know, so that we can sort of do the equal times trade.
Sure.
Well,
Aurelia steps within reach of the large creature.
Well, it's
Yeah.
difficult to navigate
Yeah.
in this abstract space floating
know.
over Drakkenhall.
This
Not-
narrativistic space. I
not to
understand.
Geráck for him to take the
Yes.
treatise.
She,
Well, we hope it's the right one.
there's no
It's
need
not
for
her.
like a heal skill check. She is heavily wounded, but she is stabilized and she could be carted. It wouldn't be comfortable to carry her for like fucking 5 hours across the city, but I mean you could.
He's still
Geráck has a strength of 20. She doesn't weigh that much.
like a cart, but maybe not comfortable for her either. But
That's true.
You
You
could get a cart, yes. If
Yeah.
you asked for a cart, you could be given
like
a
a
cart.
wheelbarrow or
Yeah, it's
something.
like a wheelbarrow. Yeah, you can put somebody in.
Don't.
And you know, if there's gonna be any city in which you wheeling like an unconscious and half-dead woman around in is okay, it's gotta be Drakkenhall.
You know,
No questions.
they're just surprised we don't have like a bell or something to
Ding,
Ring
ding,
toll for the
bring your
dead.
bodies, ding, ding.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I suppose we take her into the wheelbarrow and not too early and try to go back to the sanctuary to get this done as fast as possible.
Alright. You folks depart. And begin the rush all the way across the city again. I will say that you are stopped by no fewer than 4, sort of like kobold armadas. But waving the mark of Chuuk is sufficient enough to not frighten them away, but make them leave you alone. And
I
then,
need that on a shirt.
And then others get the message, and then they stop asking you.
Yeah, good. Wonderful. This is going to be so useful. I mean, this is already helping so much.
So
Yeah.
they're gone. And as they leave, the docile dogmole juggernaut just stand there. The guard. Then all of the magical adepts and the spellbreakers in the courtyard. Chuuk
Once again,
and-
Sheep
and-
is left alone.
Chuuk and Elrond look to each other, and that's when we take the 2-week break between sessions. Oh, shit. I feel like we've been here before, Sheep. Have we been here before?
You know,
I think so.
I didn't push you this time. You can't say that I did.
No, you really didn't.
You really crawled into this with your.
He knows what happened last time, so.
Yeah. Oh my! Keep that's metagame.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
Dwohurim should have stayed.
Chuuk and Nelron look towards each other, and
And
Chuuk,
catches a break.
Chuuk grumbles, "Well, husband, you wanted her to say." We're not done yet, though, Goger. We will continue the session. I was joking about it ending right here.
What the fuck? Did you kick me or something?
No, you just disconnected.
God damn it.
Chuuk and Elrond look at each other, and Chuuk grumbles, "Well, husband, you wanted her to stay. What is it you wanted to say to her?" Nelron, the slim and incredibly fashionable, and the glaive-wielding half-elf, will step forward and peer at Aurelia and say, "Yes, I did want her to stay, Chuuk. As I told you, she has some sort of significance in name. It is unfortunate that the rest of her companions don't agree with proper priorities, however, is it not?" Nelron gives Aurelia a critical look. "I mean, what is the worth of this druid woman and a druid compared to the knowledge of Exilia, the Gloom, a powerful huntress, lodge chieftain of the entirety of Newport, who once upon a time may have absconded with children? Would you believe that, Chuuk? Children of all sorts. Children to be thrust into monasteries, to learn the ways of the Black Fang. Chuuk grumbles, "That's terrible. How could the children survive in such an environment?"
They did not. Most of them.
Indeed. Considering Aurelia's history with the gloom, I had thought she would make a greater argument to pursue the knowledge. I am curious as to why she did not. That is why I wanted her to stay.
It would have been difficult to argue for my personal revenge when the others think that this arrangement is more acceptable.
Now that is a lie, Aurelia, and you would know it. Dwohurim said multiple times that he was being motivated here by pure personal ambition.
In addition to that, I am not one who is very good at convincing people. However, I am good at doing things. Perhaps there could be a different arrangement that could be found.
Naran blinks and looks over at Chuuk. Chuuk, who rumbles and says, "Perhaps that can be done. My primary interest is at dead druids, and I would have loved for Therral to be lured out of his sanctuary. But perhaps, given your companion's personal ambitions, it would be unwise for you to do so. However, you can make your own decisions. I do not have anything immediately that comes to mind that you could do for me. I would not want to waste your talents. There is plenty of work that would be beneath you." Yes, you're still pushing the wheelbarrow across the city. Elrond looks over to Aurelia and says, "Perhaps we can find something suitable. However, perhaps saying too late would be a bit of a joke. Exilia will be around for a long time to come. She has been around for a while already. How old did you say she was, Chuuk?" And Chuuk says, "No, might even be older than me." Elrond looks, "See?"
Aurelia frowns.
"Well, you can wait out here. You'll be fine. Sit by the fountain and take a walk around the hedge maze. You'll be fine here for the time being. We won't keep you locked up, unless you have a reason for us to change our minds."
Aurelia shakes her head.
"Splendid." Elrond looks at Chuuk. "Well, I suppose it's time to go back to our game." Chuuk frowned noticeably. "You said we were done with that." "Nonsense. You still have so much to learn." "I will bite your head off if you talk that way to me again." "Oh, you're gonna make me blush." And the two sort of like grumble and grouse to each other as they walk back into the manor. The guards who are around you look completely like as if this is their everyday lives. The massive quadruped dogmold juggernaut is also led back inside, leaving Aurelia alone with the fountain, and the hedges, and the flowers.
And her many conflicted thoughts.
I wonder how they met.
That could be the information you asked for instead.
How does that even happen?
He is also a dragon secretly.
That would
They're
just be
all
boring
dragons.
answer.
Everyone's a dragon. It's
Even
like,
the bugbears are dragons.
It's like when Manaki thought Blue Eyes was a dragon. He's an intellect devourer, who's actually a polymorph dragon, who's actually another intellect devourer.
Very, very powerful polymorph.
Okay. So it is certainly evening now at this point, as the group makes their way and finally reaches the Sylvan Sanctuary, where, like, as soon as you approach, like, the trees themselves immediately part, and out comes walking Therral the Everliving, and a small cart of sorts, upon which is being wheeled the mighty cauldron of dead men.
Oh, good.
I'll carry the druid to him and take his cart instead.
He looks grief-stricken, very distraught as he scrutinizes the woman. And that's when, if I were a joking GM, I'd say, "It's not her!"
Well, you know.
But that a reaction does not appear to occur. And he'll take her, and without offering like words to you, he'll take her and just walk straight back into the fucking sanctuary, leaving you with the cauldron.
I suppose we take it and we make haste back to Chuuk's estate, not knowing what they're doing to poor Aurelia.
Yeah, I guess so.
All
We
these
put the
fucking...
cauldron in the wheelbarrow.
Well, you have an entire cart now that you could like push. around.
Oh, we
Upgrade.
moved up the world.
You could put the wheelbarrow in the cauldron, and I did describe it for you folks. It looks as was described. Centuries of soot and congealed meat juices have blackened the exterior of it and made the magical runes on it almost impossible to read. It does radiate a certain power, however, which Dwohurim would certainly recognize, perhaps similar to what Fargus bestowed upon him so long ago.
Ooh. If I had that power, think of what I could do with it. Like disenchant it to become awesome power, then we could just kill all dragons.
Guys, I am just saying that if Aurelia dies now, I mean, we have a solution.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they probably wouldn't keep the bones, would they?
At any rate, it is another fun endeavor, and you are well into the night by the time, like, your thighs and, like, fucking, like, all sorts of things have to be burning. Like, I know, like, Geráck is, like, trained to, like, fight with his armor, but it's still, like, plate mail that's been weighing him down as he's been, like, doing, like, cross-country for, like, the past fucking
Yeah, it's not really
12
what it's used
hours.
to.
Clank! Clank!
I mean, his legs are well trained, but he's more of an upper body guy.
Yes, or an upper body guy. Stick like
Not
that.
a sprinter.
No.
Yeah. You know, the tunnels, like, his time in the Blessed Halls didn't prepare him for this.
No.
Worse. More dangerous over short distances.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like running across, like, the entirety of the land, like Legolas and Aragorn and Gimli, like, oh, please. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard.
Of course, Geráck in his full plate and dragging the cart and wheelbarrows. It's just really needs our help.
Yes.
My armor's gonna rust from all the sweat.
Deep into the night, like, and you like pushing this fucking like cart over like the cobblestone and uneven pavement. You finally make your way all the way back at Chuuk. Thank God there isn't a combat or anything. Well, the party is separated, and you are permitted entrance into the courtyard, where Aurelia can fucking be basically doing whatever she's wanted, like in the courtyard area this entire time. She's had basically like 8-9 hours, so
It's been, like,
probably
scrapping
even
and-
longer.
At this point, she probably explored the entire hedge maze and is back to sitting on the fountain.
Yes. Guards have changed their shifts, but they do still loiter around. Chuuk and Nelron are not around.
Well, I guess we just...
Yep, you surrender your weapons and you are permitted in with the cart.
Alright.
We couldn't just deliver it at the door and then get Aurelia in. And,
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought before. That's why I asked.
well, you know, sure.
Push it in.
We'll bring it in.
Although one of the guards standing in the courtyard will turn and look up and say, "You don't have to wait for the lord and lady. You may retrieve your friend and depart."
Good.
Oh, good.
Come on, Aurelia. You don't seem too hurt.
No, I was simply told to wait out here.
Guards will head for the cart that has been wheeled in.
Now we can strike them if we really want to, guys, but that would be dumb. So let's.
Do you want to take the cauldron
We
back now?
don't have our weapons.
I mean,
No.
I can cast magic without weapons, but
Yep, I can't do shit.
I was just
You can
saying, if you
punch.
wanted to anger Chuuk and then crib a lot, this is the time. But Dwohurim wouldn't do that. He's an upstanding guy. He made a deal. Let's. He did this without bloodshed.
Now then, have you gotten the druid's eternal word of gratitude and his promises to aid you in your conflicts?
No.
I think it was a mistake that we got the
Let's
girl
let's
back
leave
to the
this
druid.
place first.
Fine.
The guards are already pushing like the cart towards the main doors of the manor. But there are still other guards on the hedge maze, on the walls, watching.
Suddenly there's a lot more guards, and why do they all have crossbows?
Fucking crossbows.
Swinging exactly the same.
But you are able to leave the walls of Chuuk's estate without incident. Late night. It would certainly be valid to decide what you wanted to try and do next, or what you wanted to pursue. While I was joking earlier about the session being over when it wasn't, we will be taking a lengthy break. Our next session will not be until the 3rd of November. I have a thing to do on the 27th.
All right.
So
thing?
Yes, a thing.
Well, first and foremost, I think we would like to sleep, and then the next day go and meet Therral, the Everliving again, to see how she's doing and make sure that everything is as it should be.
Yeah.
See how he feels about the whole thing now. That he has her back.
Well, if that's actually what the group wants to do, instead of Manaki speaking.
I think it's something we might want to know before we begin to plan if we want to stay here or leave.
I
go
say
back.
we leave.
Well, could we at least talk to him first?
Yeah,
So we should talk
after
to him
that,
and be
I
like-
did. I did agree with
So, we did what you told us to do. Not in the way you told us to do it, but, you know,
we did it.
yeah.
He might not be as great.
Working with the Archmage's people is perhaps bittersweet, but no one had to die. She's safe. They might have got something that they wanted, but at least
You
Maybe,
can return to the Sylvan Sanctuary once you awaken, and you will not be accosted again. Yay! Nothing bad will happen to you when you guys sleep. It's almost as if like we're too far into the session for me to really want to have a combat right now. We attacked you. All right.
Chuuk dies and is gone. Oh, well, that was easy.
Suddenly, the Mistress of Sorcery comes and eats you all.
Yeah.
Game.
Oh.
New campaign. Set in the aftermath of your failure.
Post-apocalyptic game.
Welcome to the 14th age.
Yeah. It's chaotic age.
Oh, shit. Ajax is one of the icons.
Oh, God. I will be a druid of Ajax, and I will be the worst person in the world.
Douchebag. Yes, you can make your way back to the Sylvan Sanctuary. Once again, you are required to wait outside the perimeter as a messenger flies all the way into God knows where. Somewhere in the middle of that fucking perimeter.
Someday we will have them wait for us.
And it is another fucking 17 minutes, but I mean, it gives your calves time to rest, right?
Yeah, that's true. We don't look as winded.
Like, if there's one thing that that Newport isn't so bad at, it's the fact that you guys are able to travel quickly, especially when you have your horses. Here, it's...
You'd think little Drakkenhall would have, like, treadmills everywhere. Jeez.
But, the perimeter soon parts, and then the middle-aged man, with a smile and a sort of conflicted expression on his face, will emerge from the perimeter to regard you.
Man, that feels familiar. Yeah, Grim will walk up and say, good morning, if it can be said to be so.
Good morning. Well, you certainly fulfilled the requirements, or the askance that Vargas made whenever he gave his promise. I certainly cannot doubt your word, even for someone who has such a poor reputation among druids.
Vargas, I spoke with him at length after we left Drakkenhall before his demise, and as it turns out, there are druids who are not like Ajax, and who do not believe what Ajax does is the right thing to do.
Yes, I am willing to consider, as I imagine others will be soon, that it is your prior experience with this Ajax which has cast you in such an unfavorable light. Not to mention your connection with the excesses and debaucheries of civilization, but that is an entirely separate discussion.
I had hoped that our aid to you might have proven that there are those who, even after everything, would want the High Druid and the Archmage to coexist and to preserve life.
Believe me when I say, Dwohurim, that I think a war between the High Druid and Dragon Empire would be a massive catastrophe. It is a vision that I have, a vision that Vargas shared, and a vision that he inspired. Not all druids wish for the world to be soaked with blood and for the civilization to be pressed against the shores of the Midland Sea. Not even the High Druid, or else she already would have acted. There are reasons why we druids choose to aid. The Archmage and the Emperor, with assistance along the seawall, and in other areas as well, particularly as the Archmage's wards have failed in many locales, and are being, well, they're being overrun, and not just by nature.
Well, if there's something that I could do so that people like Ajax would not be in the positions they're in, but instead sensible people like you, it seems, like Vargas was, would be the ones to make the decisions that matter, then please bring it to my attention.
Therral shrugs. If there's one thing the druids have not escaped when they forsook and swore off civilization, it is politics. We are still humans and elves and dwarves and draconics. We are still all of those things. with all of our emotions, our need for vengeance and greed. He frowns, looking back at the sanctuary. Even I am victim to such things.
Regardless, I wanted those with whom Vargas served to know that he did not die in vain. That there are those to whom his words rang true. I don't know enough about what he did to know what that means to anyone. If that was even why he was doing what he was doing, but he was willing to die for a cause that was not given to him by the High Druid, but one he believed in because it seemed like it would preserve life as we know it. And I suppose, in that sense, it doesn't matter who you work for if such a goal can be attained. Because I could not let his mission fall so easily. So I'm attempting to stand by it as much as I can. New to me as it is. If there's other things that I might be helpful with, do say so.
It is good to hear you say those words. I think you have sufficiently grasped what Fargus intended. Not to perfection, but in your own way.
I'm not. Good. And now in metagame, ask the others as well. Is there anything else we need to speak to him about before we leave Drakkenhall? I mean, to help him gain more druids as allies. I think
that's kind of what we have done.
Yeah, everything considered, we don't really have anything we need to ask of him right now. And I don't know that we've really strengthened his position a whole lot. But we've certainly made it plain that we are...
Do we keep the scroll he gave us?
You can certainly keep the scroll.
Sure.
He will not ask for it back.
We can go to the sanctuary at some point if we need to. It's a little removed, but...
If we're in a terrible
spot,
spot,
like it's
If you're in a terrible spot,
get out of jail,
and
nearby water.
Yes, you will have to be like next to a body of water.
How big of a body of water?
Enough for you to enter the body of water so that you can
like
be teleported into...
all of us, I guess.
It will create a... Dwohurim thinks it'll create like a portal thing. You like step into the water. And
I guess like a full bath could do it.
Yes, it could.
Alright.
If you could tell the mean ghouls and ghast or Exilia to time out while you run a bath so that you can step into it.
Before you kill me, let me take a bath, please.
But I mean,
so for example,
maybe it won't leave all of our non-magical gear behind. So, there's ups and downs to appearing in the middle of Drakkenhall.
we'll leave like...
It leaves all of your magical gear behind.
Well, that's even worse.
Oh, shit.
The good news is that I'm clothed.
Bad news is that
my ancestral
whatever lieutenant we fled from is now going to have a whole lot of new swag next time
we just leave
this fucking guy like
somewhere with
overdoses
items.
on magic items.
Shrim's hole just pops out right there, like a huge building.
If he bonds to all the items, just remember many of those items have health warnings.
Yeah, he just becomes really uncaring for everything.
I remind you, I still have a scroll of darkness.
Well, that's not really as bad if you're an evil person already.
No, but they probably don't want to be compulsed into, sacrificing people in an altar,
I already do that on Tuesdays. Now I have to do it on Wednesdays too. Son of a bitch.
I mean, I suppose that
less time in our hair.
Was that what we wanted to do in Blue City? Because if so, then...
I think so. I honestly didn't expect it to be done so quickly.
We did it the diplomatic route. Now, it doesn't always have to come to fighting. Chuuk. Finally,
But
we
was
used.
it the right
finally,
decision?
finally, we followed one of my relationship die to actually do what one of my magic items told me to. They tell me a lot of things. Usually, we just ignore them. We finally got to use one.
That wasn't even expending your Archmage 5.
No, wasn't it?
That was just your item talking to you.
All right.
Your
Sure.
fucking epic tier item wanted to have things to say to
Well, good, nice.
you. He pays attention.
I still have that fucking 5 then. I thought that was gone.
No.
All right. Yeah. Awesome. Fantastic.
There's that, and of course, Geráck still had his unexpended Dwarf King conflicted 5.
Yeah.
Well, those can go to heaven then.
Yeah.
Alright.
Or I'll find a way to make your 5s come in for you somehow next session. I will have 2 weeks. Until then, you folks can go ahead and roll me some Icon relationship dice.
Ooh, relationship.
Nope.
Dice. Come on, 6s.
Ooh, my
Well, I'll
first Dwarf
take-
King.
A negative though.
Nothing.
Well, I guess.
Yeah.
This next session will have nothing to do with Tempus.
Hold on.
And you'll actually have to decide what you kids want to tackle next session.
So
Living Dungeon.
seawall.
We still have Creel.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that will help.
I think we should go for Creel.
There is the whole thing about, like, if we can bring back living specimens.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
gonna be so fucking difficult.
We need to buy some nets.
and like I mean, if any place has cages and stuff, it's here.
Yeah.
They have like
Should buy
this
some
huge
large
like
iron
humanoid
cages.
cage market.
I mean, we could buy a few. Probably.
You sailors okay with us transporting live chaos beast back, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have to get back to your boat and hope everything's okay. Guess we'll have to find out what happened there next time.
Let's hope Death Speaker isn't like stuck here forever. If not, we gotta be like, Chuuk's fucking gonna need this guy.
Death Speaker was
Drink
like,
Come.
Death Speaker was like, this is too dangerous. I'm going to leave.
Do we
They'll
keep the
be
seal?
fine.
Do we keep the seal that we got from Chuuk?
Oh, definitely.
I-
Why wouldn't we?
If you get seen with it, it's kinda.
Well, it's mostly just to get rid of all these damn patrols trying to press.
You would say that. So would anyone who's holding the seal.
Yeah.
I mean, we could just hide it somewhere here.
I mean, we could dump it in the water when we leave the city, but until we leave the city, I think it's useful to have it.
Yeah, of course. I think we could just bury it somewhere in the city. And if you come back here, we can get it again.
If it's there.
Yeah, if it's there.
I think we should not just like it's not going to be here when we come back, and we're not going to necessarily really need it. We don't want to piss Chuuk off too much. We're on pretty friendly terms, I would think, at the moment. I mean, as much as you can be with a chromatic dragon. So I mean that's good, and I mean it's just I don't think these kobolds or whatever will go and give her shit about why this group of adventurers are saying that they don't want to be press gang because they work for her. If they do, then they're pretty stupid. Well, I mean, which wouldn't really. They're very brave and pretty stupid kobolds. So we can probably use it to get our people and get out of the city and then like dump it in the water or something. I'm sure she would understand.
Yes. This was one of the sessions that I spent quite a bit of time planning this one, if only because there were many possibilities for how today's session could have been handled. I'll put it like that.
Even though I probably know the answer. Did the session go as you expected, Grimith?
Well, I knew that a peaceful resolution was a possibility. So
Okay.
since I had prepared for that, then yes, sure. I set my expectation pretty low. Although, since Manaki thought that his item was an icon relationship die, I think that may have influenced how he decided to pursue things.
I don't know. It seemed like once Storm actually got the others to try it, that it actually. I mean, they were distrustful of both of us, but like the exchange happened. I mean, it seemed like there was something both sides
Therral
wanted.
said 97 fucking times. He didn't distrust you. He distrusted the
Yes, I
fucking
know. I
dragon.
heard that 96 fucking times. That's what
I know
said.
you don't trust me.
The two sides are distrustful of one another.
Yes.
But we made the exchange happen, and I mean, yeah, I think it certainly shows to him that this might be more of a, you can compromise more to go to what our characters have grown this session. Yeah, if it had failed and we become more violent, that might have taken a step in that direction. I do hope, guys, that I've not taken too much time and too much talking space this session. I know some of you haven't really said much. I hope you haven't been.
It was actually quite nice to catch up and listen to all of it.
Okay.
I mean, I try to talk a bit, so you're not the only one talking all the time.
You certainly do. Even as a dwarf, you struggle with me.
I have to, but I mean, someone has to be the voice of reason.
Yeah. Well, what? Exactly. Someone has to be the voice of reason.
Goger really does try to keep this shit grounded. Like, this is fucking stupid. The fuck is wrong with you? The fucking dragon. Look at her. It's a dragon. Green. Green dragon, see?
That's the same thing I say, though. This is stupid. We can fight her. Look at her. She's a dragon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then metagame-wise,
Death Claw.
Goger's like, you saw what happened the last time we fought a dragon. Fucking nuked her with power.
Yes, I nuked her with power, but this one has, like,
the
anti-wizards
big-
everywhere.
Yeah, the big problem with that was the anti-wizards.
You can't do that.
Like her claw, and no
Aurelia
one is a
fight with
ranger,
them.
so we can't attack her from range at all.
What
You
if no
can't.
one's a ranger?
Well, they don't do magic, do they?
I'm perfectly good with a bow.
Alright.
Well, I'm worse than a ranger would be, but full ranger. But
Perfectly.
I'm better than a wizard would be.
You are better than a wizard would be, yes.
Well, he has one. He just wouldn't have brought it with him in, of course.
Alright.
And he hasn't really used it because usually it's better to just use it.
Yes. I hope that possibilities for fighting had been built up to be suitably warning. You could have taken this a whole lot of ways. There's certainly one possibility where you guys could have ended up fighting Therral the Everliving and his minions to kill him. I had prepared for that possibility, as remote as it would have been. Because God forbid you guys decide, let's kill Therral, and I'm like, well, I don't have stats for this.
And we'll get both. Then we'll have the fucking girl and be like, well, what do we do with her now, actually? Why do we want her now? We just killed Therral the Everliving. Now we don't really need her, so we got
Well,
both
then-
for no reason.
Then we'd
Then
have
we
a new
bring his body
friend, and
back.
we didn't even pay anything.
Oh,
Then
we
we
can
bring
sell
his
her
body
at the market? Yeah, that's what you want.
No, if we kill
Oh,
Therral, then
God.
we bring his body to Chuuk, and he will tell us everything we want to know.
Yeah, but then we would just have gotten the damn other thing and then asked
Yeah.
for the information instead and then not have to fight him.
Well,
Chuuk would-
you could have, say, perhaps gotten the Cauldron and Therral the Everliving, and you would have gotten something else instead. That was thought of as well. But the group did not seem like it wanted to kill Therral the Everliving.
It seemed like Seraptus would have, like, ripped out his hair.
What?
I
Well,
sent
yeah.
you to gain high fruit allies, and
and
you
it's
killed
kind-
him!
Well, the less he knows, the better, right? He's handling
We
things.
hand him, like, the mark of Chuuk and, like his head. Like, here you go. It's like, oh, you...
Yeah, to wrap this, long story short, we have a chromatic dragon who kind of likes us now.
Yeah. So, maybe the three actually aren't that bad. It's like, you...
And the druids, we should really forget them. I mean,
They are kind of a lost cause, to be honest. Maybe we should just end them. I mean, the three have agreed to help us doing it. Like, what? The Archmage doesn't have to be on the Empire side in this. We can join with them, Teraptus. It's the only way.
And he'll just sort of rub his just two fingers right on his temples, just going, I fucking knew it!
You're the worst.
I fucking knew it! It was all
Should
a
not have
fucking
sent Tempus.
ruse!
And why did I let Dwohurim stay with all these people whom I don't like?
Well, time to rectify this
spray.
now.
Bad influences, all of them.
disintegrate.
Like
Oh god.
3/5 of this group I'm not happy with. And Leon's a lich. Ah.
I remember when you said that like 7 sessions ago that someone was a bad influence on Fargus.
No.
Right after I had found out what you actually did.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There will be absolutely nothing wrong.
No, of course not.
Sheep, you were very happy when you got to be left behind, weren't you?
I mean, I was definitely hoping to somehow strike a deal to get more information on Exilia. That was my primary motivation.
After that first time with it bloodied your tooth. You're gonna be the guy who gets left behind every time.
I was tickled
because
as
you
hell.
Want to.
Like Nelron was gonna suggest it, but I'm like, there's no way, right? Like they're just gonna shoot that down. Doyer's gonna be like, no, I'm staying here. And they'll be like, okay.
I mean, Aurelia seemed very eager. She's like, yeah, I'll do it. I mean, take me.
Well,
Please.
The offer's still on the table. If Aurelia finds a way to handle Therral the Everliving.
I mean, his title kind of makes that sound like a stupid plan. Just kill that whichever lives.
He doesn't have to kill him. Just lure him a bit away from the sanctuary,
Invite him up for a cup of coffee. Well, maybe that would work better if he didn't have his lover back, but you know.
Get him away from home. Take him out to celebrate a night out of town, right?
The thing is that would then be as much as it might even make sense to do in a strange way. It is also the kind of thing that I could see Alfred Dazak doing, so I'm not going to do it.
Staying behind to strike a deal with an evil dragon about killing an ally of the party? No!
How dare you label her as evil?
Well, call me judgmental.
I mean, evil is really just a
word,
judgmental... judgmental version of selfish in a way. And aren't we all a bit selfish?
Like one of the planned arguments I had for your fucking magic item, Manaki, would have been if Dwohurim went down the but she's evil path or whatever, in which case the item would have went on a bit of a tirade about what Dwohurim has done, and what Aurelia has done, and what Tempus has done. And then looked at Dwohurim like, the fuck?
Yeah. The thing is, Dwohurim, he's kind of... I really think that he is beginning to... that the whole conflicted part about where his relationship might be going is really beginning to make sense, because I can barely... it is a struggle to... He is such of two minds about so many things. Generally not, he supported the Archmage. That's pretty firm. But this whole High Druid stuff is just but there's so many sides, and oh god, I just want... everything. I want them all to die and help us. God. Yeah.
Could you die and help us, please?
Could we kill Chuuk and be friends with her and also the druid? It's so conflicted. Fuck. God.
I think in this session I went from I really want to kill Chuuk to Chuuk, please tell me I'll do anything.
Yes, that was another possibility too, had they recognized Aurelia, which, courtesy of her icon relation die with the three, she has connections, and those go both ways.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you got some information for free. She's really fucking old. Likely dragon.
Or vampire. Yeah.
Well, something that lives for a really long time. That's already... a ton of information. Yeah.
I might be... that might be a bit far-fetched, but considering the exact words that her husband said, she might even be older than you, which is a direct comparison, I would go for dragon. But that is very far-fetched. It might just be anything that lives a long time. It might be an undead thing. Who knows?
Might just be an elf.
How long do elves live here?
I don't actually know.
700 millennia.
It's like the Tolkien, which is forever, or it's the Dungeons and Dragons, which is 600 years.
It's not particularly defined. They They don't survive for longer than... They usually don't survive for longer than an age, though. When an age can last a handful of centuries. Depends on, on how successful the age is. They are not Tolkien elves.
No.
You know, 1,000 years is not outside the realm of impossibility, but, and considering the hardships of this world, they tend to go down for one reason or another.
Bye, Gryph.
Pleasure playing.
So what Chuuk essentially did, or her husband rather did, was give us enough, or give at least me enough information to almost gasp, but not tell us anything.
Well, that's what happens whenever you don't actually agree to help Chuuk, like, get the thing that you would want more than the cauldron.
It's terrible. Everything is terrible.
You know, if Dwohurim was a little more scrupulous, this might be him and like doing the. I found out who it is, Aurelia. But first, Ajax needs to die.
Like what you could do is say, for example, you guys could have kept the cauldron and gotten the information, and then you would have had the fucking cauldron. And
We would have pissed off the druids to no end.
but you would have had the cauldron, so if one of you died, you just bring the motherfucker back in the cauldron.
Oh, we also drag the cauldron around.
We could bring Fargus back.
I'm now imagining the best person to bring back currently would be Geráck. Like, Geráck, this fucking, like, Paladin of the Great Goldworm, like, blinks, like, the...
Like, I have been boiled.
Talk about an afterlife crisis.
Forgus, however, would not be within the realms of possibility. It is supposed to be a recently deceased individual.
Yeah. Also, he'd probably not be happy with how we take it.
He would just outright refuse.
We killed Therral, the Everliving, to
he would
revive
just
you.
kill
He's
himself
like,
again.
you fuckers.
Like Fargus gets a call while he's in, like, Great Stag Heaven. You are receiving one resurrection offer from, like... And he, like, hears of the cauldron, and he would know what it is, and he's like, you can go fuck yourself, click.
Fucking hope Iron Sheik kills you all.
Oh, shit.
Great Stag Heaven, huh? I wonder what that's like.
Running around in the forest.
That sounds great.
Eating grass.
Dwohurim had enough running around here in Drakkenhall, and eating grass never was something he ever liked.
How could you not be interested in Great Stag Heaven?
It's so peaceful and... Yeah.
Well, it's better than Great Stag Hell, which is...
Just barren
I don't
wasteland.
know. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like just winter all the time.
Yes, so your fucking like Drakkenhall sojourn lasted a session. There was certainly exploration you could have done, like gone through the manor estate, could have delved into the Sylvan Sanctuary. There was quite a number of tokens that were prepared and touched up on just to make sure. Because, as I noted whenever we got into the after session, there was a lot of options open for you guys on the table, and I was aggravated at myself while I was like fucking like thinking of all the possibilities. Like, motherfucking, this is why I fucking hate open things. Put them on a goddamn fucking railroad, motherfucking.
Well, we might be back at some point. Then all things need to be updated to be more powerful anyway. So.
He'll never be back. Although I suppose you're going back to Living Dungeon of Krill, so that means I guess you guys get to see other things.
I did chuckle at the Scarlet Remains. I was like, huh.
And all the others being right next to it.
All right.
Yes, I heard you chuckle about that.
There's a place we could have gone. I mean, just to finish them off again, but
Just
it
kill
seems
everyone
like
in
we
the area.
shouldn't.
I'm getting this subtle feeling. I can't explain why, but whenever I click on the icon...
God will make rocks fall on you so fucking hard if you try to engage these guys again. All right.
You won. Accept your victory and move on with your lives.
Probably shouldn't go massacre them just for the hell of it.
They all went on holiday.
That's the whole thing about
here.
the deal about the champion tier people don't picking on the adventure tier enemies. There are other people who have to oppose the 3 by fighting those guys.
That's right. Another group of adventurers needs to cut their teeth on, like, the Dragonkin warlocks.
There has to be like a ladder, you know?
And yes, those icons did get bigger and bunch up together.
Yeah. So no level up this session?
Oh, you guys certainly had a lot of non-combat encounters, and well, I really really enjoyed you guys pursuing that. It was interesting to hear all the time that you spent debating. Goger and Manaki with some sheep and dark thrown in, and Gryph listening and chuckling. No level up.
Alright.
Considering things, it'll probably end up happening after you visit the living dungeon of Creel, which is my understanding that you want to do next. Because that dungeon warned you explicitly. You beat me. Rules say don't come back.
Well, Geráck did.
But
Back the
you
rules, we
also,
adventurous.
It's true. It's
Also-
true. Geráck and Aurelia could venture in there, and wouldn't have a problem.
well, if it hasn't upgraded
You say
last
that.
time, that'd be good. But well, like it also threw up chaos beasts. So I mean, that kind of, it's not really. We're not really cool with that.
You don't know that.
We can go ask it. Do you throw up chaos beasts?
How do we know if it's lying or not?
I don't know. It was nice last time. Usually, you shouldn't ask these questions. We just ask it, and then like depending on the answer, if it's like
Sense
yes,
motive.
I'm doing that, then you don't even need to ask if it's lying.
I sense motive the living dungeon.
It seems that its walls are slightly more sweaty than usual. Perspiration comes out of its door. So
I
You know.
don't think anyone could argue for a skill check on that front.
It looks away.
we need that. We need
My-
that,
my-
that,
yeah,
that janitor.
I know my background in one unique thing combined together that I'm certainly qualified to read the subtle mood swings of the living dungeon.
I was the living dungeon janitor for quite a few years.
I read all the little notes passed around the little lockers and classrooms of the living dungeon. I'd be like, well, shit. I guess you would know. Make a skill check roll.
They do sometimes lie. Somehow.
This is how you tell.
You go in there and says, "This is not a closet, but it's clearly a closet." So I mean,
It's lying.
yeah, it's a lying dungeon, bad dungeon.
Bad. Go to your room, dungeon,
Scrub you. Soap.
with all of your electronics.
Clean. We're finally gonna run that dungeon, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, you're the reason we went there to begin with. Look at us now. Why did you not go there so bad? And then it does this kind of thing. I'll go back to Newport and see that the raptor's been killed and that Australia now rules the city with Iron Fist.
I don't know. It sounds like you guys are wanting to go to there for several incentives. I don't think the one where you think it vomited up things is the incentive.
Isn't it?
It's creeping closer to it. being
But yeah, I suppose. But I
Causing
kind of
problems.
I saw that kind of as a one thing. Like it said that like this big chaos beast that probably came from there, and it kind of ate a lot of people. So we kind of want to,
Those people were already dead. Sahagwin killed them.
well, the
Sharks,
chaos beast
maybe.
certainly wasn't nice to us.
It ate the dire sharks that was eating the people. Yeah, because the dire sharks were the ones who snatched off so many people from the coastline and were devouring them.
I mean,
and
maybe.
really, the Chaos Beast was trying to defend you.
Oh yeah. Of course it was.
If that turns out to be true, they'll probably be a little confused.
Maybe not Geráck.
The island is
That
coming
was
here
not
to.
a nice experience.
It's coming here to defend the land. Yeah. I mean, chaos beast could have run
By
away
killing everyone, yeah.
instead of like racing shields and sucking people out into the water in
They
a
were
surprise
already
attack.
dead,
You know,
except for Geráck.
so might have worked better if it hadn't done that. But
Lightning fast arms.
but I don't remember that. It's probably friendly. If we get another one, you should shake its hand. Yeah. There were chaos beasts down there.
Yes.
2 weeks, huh?
Yep.
All right.
November 3rd, 2015. 2 weeks. I spent quite a bit of time with prep work on this one, and I wanted to do a thing. 2 weeks will be time for me to see how Creel would have changed. Because I certainly did tell you the last time you guys poked your heads in, whenever you decided to camp out there for 2 days, that it felt different, and it has been feasting on the emotions of people while you've been gone.
fear, hatred, anger.
Happiness,
Sadness.
satisfaction.
Not a lot of those, I imagine. But
There have to be winners to tell people. You guys are the worst because you won, and then you didn't go around spreading the word. You were literally like the worst outcome the dungeon could have had.
I mean, we tried, but most people we end up meeting, we end up killing, who
You
are
didn't
actually
try
adventurous.
shit. Like, no, you didn't try. You didn't say, hey, let's go to this dungeon. No, you never tried. The dungeon knows. It can sense the fact that you never tried.
Well, maybe the dungeon will have to be nice to us now.
Dungeon's feeling.
Well, I mean, that's really mean of you. I thought you were a paladin.
You have offended the dungeon. Like, there's no fucking getting over that. Like,
I haven't met it yet.
yes, at least Geráck and Aurelia are new people. So then, like, if you just let those two go and it'll be happy.
Yeah, we could do that.
I mean, I'm sure it's going to adjust the challenges accordingly,
Yeah.
right?
It's like
Right?
it wants you to win.
Well, I mean...
Don't go for that Burning Sands one. You two would be screwed.
The dungeon is like a meta DM.
Yeah.
The burning sand. Don't you have any ice spells?
Who knows? No one really asked it or, like,
Well, actually, I don't-
inquired as to the dungeon's existence or purpose or well-being or anything. No one cared. They just grabbed their orb and
It's
left.
really sad and lonely, actually.
Should have burned the sand to make it glass.
It probably fixes that with its big, like, monster golem thing.
Yeah.
Whenever the dungeon resets, it would have reset the glass.
They are mysterious things. Although our people, I suppose, have killed many of them in our time.
Yes. Many, 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 many living dungeons have died throughout the ages. Thousands of living dungeons have died.
How did it progress?
Most before they've reached the surface. You know them? No one knows. They just come. They just come from so far deep below the ground. The dwarves don't even dig down that far.
So
Dig
they
down the
literally
fire.
spawn out of holes in the ground. Yeah.
The living dungeon eggs down there. Some say that when they've grown big enough, they return down there to mate and spawn, and then come up an age later.
Require additional living dungeons.
Yeah.
Spawn
Also,
more
I-
living dungeons.
I take it we don't get an incremental advance or even a level up?
No,
on
this is the last one.
Yeah, I told you guys last session that that incremental advance is the last one you're getting before the level.
We usually get them with like 2 or 3 sessions between them. I
Yeah,
think.
the only other thing I could
Okay.
pick is like additional magic items.
Yes. It used to be that you guys got an incremental advance every session, but now that you transferred on a champion tier, it's slowed down.
Epic tier, we're going to play a year before we get a level.
Yeah.
Yeah, a year, sure.
No, hopefully people aren't that irregular.
No, level up. You just get the satisfaction of having resolved your objective.
And look
Greedy
at that.
fucking pig cunt. I mean, fucking sheep's like, you're not getting anything. We're gonna turn this into another Foghaven. Ah.
I always got to bring that up.
You know, I said those words in the context of trying to provide feedback that may or may not help. And now I regret saying those things.
It's still funny.
No, you don't.
Do you feel bad, sheep?
I do. It's true though. It's so easy to make me feel bad. It's terrible.
I know. It is terrible. But you shouldn't feel bad for that.
No, you shouldn't feel bad. It's just become a battle cry because if there's gonna be one thing I take away from this session is don't let this be like a no. Fuck.
You need closure.
Right. We can be
But
like
think about
be like 70 fucking sessions in. All right, guys. Foghaven. Remember Foghaven.
Yeah, we're gonna go wreck that shit.
Oh god.
The new Archmage, Dwohurim, has chosen to level this random city. It's okay because he can restore the wards. I mean, we're not really in a position to argue with him, but all right.
Just move it a bit and call it something else.
It is now Rage Scream.
Yeah, but it was
Bitch,
poignant
up.
and memorable feedback, Sheep. That is why I frequently cite it. Unlike many of the other things you said that I don't remember.
Can't remember everything.
so difficult. I'd have to like care and stuff. It's not easy.
I think I'm going to delete Domino's name from my notes here. That's probably not going to be relevant